this time. Let's try this again. So, Battlefield Engineer, second look, second take. First time I recorded this live, there was no audio, so I'm just double checking here. Yep, that is just fine on my end. So if it's not showing up in the stream, my apologies, and I'll get right to taking a look at this. And again, apologies for recording live, but this is just the faster way for me. No guarantees I'll be getting to your comments. Let me just... Okay, good. We got volume this time. Okay, so we have 11 days to do this event from 11 GMT to 11 GMT, the 11th to the 22nd. You should be able to grind through this event for one vehicle 1 to 2 hours per day. Double that if you want to get one of these two vehicles. Triple that if you want to get one of these 3 vehicles, and increase it by whatever amount if you're going to try and grind through all of these. And while that is possible, if you're playing around 10 hours per day to get all of these for free, because these top 3 should be fairly available, especially this one, I don't imagine this going for more than around $4 on the marketplace. You will be able to pick up these ones if you just want to go straight to whatever one is your favorite. How do you do this? Not sure how much I covered in the first video. I was doing a lot and I just got both of the girls to sleep, so pray for me. First off, you need to assemble the I-180S, and there are some fun, well, in quotes, some, we'll call them distinct and memorable mechanics when it comes to actually building the vehicle. But basically, you just need to play the game, and you can talk about the specifics of how to unlock these vehicles using the repair the aircraft system that they're introducing with this one, and it's just flavor. You can discuss that with people if you don't understand the details. I'll be around. I'll be checking on the chats in my server on Discord, and a great place to go if you need any questions answered is the TEC Hub Discord server. You can find links to that in the European Canadians videos, and I'm sure there will be videos describing this, so there's lots of places you can go to reach out for information on how specifically to build these vehicles. It should be more straightforward than it sounds. These events always sound very complicated, but when we get into the actual nuts and bolts of this one, it's actually the most straightforward and consistent progress we've ever seen in an event. To get these vehicles for free, it is going to take, their estimate is 13 to 15 hours per repair craft. So 13 to 15 hours for this one, another 13 to 15 for each one of these if that's what you want, and then double that for each one of these. So it is something of an investment, but for vehicles that this would probably go for around $50 to $60. Add the fact that it's an event rare vehicle, not a premium, but very rare. It is worth, I'd say, around 80 bucks. That's a pretty good value for your time in terms of return of investment for a free-to-play game. So you're really getting a good deal on this one. This shouldn't take more than, again, 10 to 15 hours. We'll just say it could be a bit less if you know how to work the system and get lucky. But if it takes 15 hours, that's a solid 2 days of playing over a weekend if you don't have other things you need to do. And if you do have other things you need to do, well, I understand. You're talking to a busy guy myself. So, what else needs to be covered? Basically, this event should be the least stressful event. So if you're pre-stressing yourself already, if you're getting ready to be stressed out over this one, as far as other events in War Thunder, you don't need to be stressed out. So try to relax and just play the game and enjoy the progress you make. They have designed this one to be less inherently stressful and to give you the ability to play whatever you want. So let's get into it. Here are the details of the flavor. You receive a damaged I-180S after your first battle, and you need to repair it. It goes through how you start by repairing a fighter, and then you get a coupon. That's something you can buy and sell in the market after the event is over. The second time you repair an I-180S, you get a voucher. One voucher can be traded for one of these two. 2 vouchers can be traded for one of these. So, I think I've already talked about that. Let's move on. The aircraft diagnostics thing and repair thing, I'm not really going to get into it now. When the event starts, it'll be a lot more apparent how it actually works. But basically, this is just a little mini game, this test flight thing, to where you can get some extra components and make a little bit of progress by test flying the aircraft and having a look around, doing some investigating. And this is not meant to make the event more difficult. It's meant to make this event distinct and memorable, I think. And the reason I say this is I've been a teacher for a while. I teach a Sunday school class, and whenever I see the kids zoning out and not engaging, I like to ask them questions that get them thinking. And the best way to get somebody's brain involved, to get somebody invested in what could otherwise be a boring and nondescript event, I mean, again, we're just playing the game to get these vehicles, basically. What they throw in here is something that makes you think, something that makes you observe, take a look at the aircraft, see which parts are damaged, and then figure out which one is the correct answer for the things that are damaged, and you get a reward for it. So I think that's the way it works. We'll see how it works out in the live game. Again, this is not something to stress out over. There's a huge number of people that can help you out if you have any questions, and I will try and cover this in some more poorly prepared videos myself, but there's some great people out there like the European Canadian, Bacon Gaming, Tiger Frost. I'll bet maybe even Mike Goes Boom will do some videos on these. I'm sure we're going to see people. Napalm has been making videos on this. That's Napalm Rata, and I'm sure others as well. So there's no need to stress out about this. It'll just be something we look back on and remember when the event is over. So what else? We talked something about this, and again, once the event starts, you can read this for yourself. It's really, you don't need to understand it now. It'll all fall into place once we start going, but basically, you just want to play the game. Now, there is an extra crate of what are basically, we'll call them parts. They're called technician toolkits. They're parts. You get between 1 and even possibly 10, but more often 1 to 3 parts extra if you score first place in your team. So if you want to try and exploit this extra bonus, the best way to do that is to play battles that tend to end quickly and that you can tend to get first place in. A good example is 6.7 German Air RB, of all things, where matches usually end fairly quickly because it's jet combat, and I don't think you need to win, you just need to get first place. So I could jump into my ME262A1U4 Narwhal, do some ground striking, acquire 5,000 points in one flyout if my gun manages to stay on target. The dispersion's a little bad on the Narwhal right now, but if you know your stuff, you can kill tanks and get a lot of score in a ground attacker. So maybe you fly a ground attacker and you play battles getting first in your team. At the end of that battle, you can get an extra crate. So that's one way to do it. I'm sure each one of you has your own favorite way to score first in your team, and this is something you don't need to really try for. Just put yourself up in a position where you're likely to be successful, and it's a small bonus. So there is a little bit of a reward for doing very well in terms of score. I wouldn't focus on this though, because that's going to make you frustrated. You're not going to get this every match, and there's going to be heartbreak matches where you don't get it. The good news is, to get consistent parts, all you need to do is play the game with 50% activity level. Just spawning, and then even if you get killed by the enemy, you're still going to have around 50% battle activity, so it should be pretty much guaranteed if you're actually playing the game. Very helpful. These are other things you can get in that crate in addition to the parts. So you see some extra camouflages. Those are kind of cool. I get the feeling that if you put yourself up in a position to succeed, you'll probably get one of these, and these may be available on the marketplace. I don't know if it says a coupon for the camo or just the camo. Let's see. A coupon for unique camo. Yes, so these will be on the marketplace as well. So you can buy and sell these on the market. The prices should be very low for most of these. So if you want to drop a few extra bucks to get some cool camos, that's just a great thing. I like to see this being available for free outside of the chest system, so take advantage of that while you can. That's a pretty cool camo. Okay, you can see that I've been very positive about this, and I'm really trying to lean on being positive, because these events always do bring out a lot of negativity, and there are some downsides to this event, but overall it has been consistently less stressful every single time we have one of these events. So I've been there for the Operation Summer and the IS-7 event, which was not all that stressful. It just took a lot of time. And this one should be even less stressful. So you can look back at the dark days of War Thunder Chronicles, which were a cool idea that just ended up having inconsistent progress, and you just kept on feeling like you were hitting a wall sometimes. And that, I don't know about you, but that really stressed me out. This event, totally chill. The only thing you need to do is figure out how to do the test flight thing and the aircraft repair, and again, it's probably not as complicated as it sounds, and each one of us YouTubers is going to be jumping all over figuring that out, so you won't have to worry about it as a humble viewer. I'm going to take a quick look at the comments. Rodrigo says, hello there. Hello, Rodrigo. Nice to see you. So every 10 minutes you get a special crate that has 1 to 3 parts. Every now and then you could get 10, but don't worry about it. And the time in battle will roll over toward the next crate. So every 10 minutes of in-match time, you will be getting a crate. And you can see the example there. At the end of battle, the 2 players who got first place, each on each team, will get some of that we already talked about. And here, summary, it takes around 13 to 15 hours in a match to assemble an I-180S. So again, double that for a first tier vehicle, and triple that in total to receive both the I-180S coupon and one of these 3. So the marketplace is going to be useful for people that want to get all of these vehicles but not spend every waking hour in the game. If you want to get 1 or 2 of these vehicles, even the top tier rewards should come rather quickly. Myself, I'm gonna probably go for the I-180 because it is red and it's pretty cool, and I already have a golden Soviet 2.7 lineup that this will fit in nicely. Ooh, are those bombs? Nice. And I want the Merkava, so I'll probably be going for what, playing roughly 30 to 40 hours of game over the course of 11 days, 3 to 4 hours per day. It's gonna be a marathon, but I think it's pretty doable. We'll see. Your mileage may vary, but you will probably be able to pick up these vehicles for free for the ones you really want. And if you don't have the time, then there is the marketplace. And I understand that some people don't have the time or the money to get these vehicles, and in that case, well, you know, you gotta give something to get these. Tin Stoffel, my friend, there is no such thing as a free lunch, and being broke as a joke sucks. I know. I had to live on my buddy's couch for like a year or two, and it really, really sucks. But life will change, and you don't need to have these things. These are toys. If you're broke as a joke, I understand, man. You'd always watch me use them. sorry, that was cruel. But we'll see how this all shakes out. But it looks like it's going to be the most positive event so far. Fool on the Hill says it gets more confusing every year. I can see why he would say that. And as a human being, we don't like new things and having to wrap our minds around new ways of grinding through these events. But basically all you need to do is play the game. The rest of it will fall into place. And it is different every year, and that's also because if it was the same every year, it would be very, very boring. So it's nice to see a little bit of innovation. You can see some people already getting negative about this. Improved compared to the IS-7 event, I agree with that. Yeah, if you want to get every one of the vehicles, you're going to have to play a long time. But if you're going to get 1 or 2 or 3 of the vehicles, very doable if you have, 4 to 5 hours of gaming time per day, and your mileage may vary. But if you don't have the time, there is the marketplace. It is, from the looks of things, going to take a lot less time than IS-7. So if you think that it's not better than IS-7, and your criteria is how long you have to play, well, IS-7 you could get 1 or 2 vehicles, maybe more if you ground quite a bit. This one, if you want to get 1 or 2 vehicles, it should take less time, and you have more vehicles that you have access to. So I would call that improvement. More vehicles for less time. Yes, it is going to be an insane amount of time to get all of them, but greed is a vice, my friend, and it's your greed that's making you unhappy, not the event itself. Okay, 11 days is a little short. You know what? I think that's absolutely right. I'd like to see this take 3 weeks or so, but I understand that hype wears off, and if the event lasts for a really long time, then people will just get sick of it, and I can understand that as well. I would like to see Gaijin take their time on things in general. They seem to be rushing B as hard as they can, but events like this coming one after another also have their benefits. I have an incredible number of event vehicles that I wouldn't have if they took their time with these things. So there's a flip side to that, I suppose. Just before finals. Nice timing, Gaijin. Really, I can relate to that. I'm sorry about that. There's really nothing they can do. Anytime you schedule something, it's gonna conflict with somebody's schedule. As long as they stick to this schedule and perhaps give us another few days on the end, I would be totally fine with that. It's the spend 10 minutes in battle thing again. Sigh. I mean, honestly, there's nothing easier to do than to spend time in battles. It is going to take a certain amount of time, but consistently, even the IS-7 event, I had better progress than War Thunder Chronicles. Those things, I'd play for an entire day and sometimes not even get the accomplishment for the day. And that's not always the case, but I can't tell you how soul-crushing it is to not make progress. So this guy doesn't enjoy the thought of this, but I'm wondering what his his replacement for it would be, because if it's not complaining about time in battle, it's complaining about something else. I must say I don't understand anything. You know what, Fungusaur DK, we got your back. We'll take a look at things once they get started. And Terret says, nice! Good to see you. You know what, you get a thumb, bud. Bam. Am I logged in? Yes. Okay, the first positive comment out of all of those. So you can see there's a ton of negativity here, but let's be positive. This event is very doable, and we can all pull together as a community. We all have something to talk about now, to gossip about. We're not just talking about the potential and the coolness of these vehicles that are very cool, potentially, but we also get to talk about how the yuck do I fix my I-180 as you get to enter the life of a Soviet engineer. And you know what? There's not even anyone threatening your life at the time, so it's even better. Soviet engineering simulator now with 95% less starvation. So I look forward to this event. It really does look like it's going to shape up to be one of the chillest events in War Thunder history. Let's check the comments real quick before we go. Puma says, isn't this like the 5th look? Shut your face! And Rodrigo says he's going for the Toaster and the Merkaba. Good choices. Maybe the 388, depending upon how life goes. Yeah, that is a beautiful aircraft. I have greatly enjoyed the Ju-288C, and this looks to be a more nimble, although bombless variant. So we'll see how that goes. I shouldn't say variant, but it is something similar. I'm circling the mouse quite a bit here. And Rigo says, the benefits of being from Central America. Next week we enjoy vacation. So yay! See, good to see some positivity, Rodrigo. And for all of you guys, I haven't put a ton of editing into this video since it was live, and I really do need to wrap things up. There's plenty more to talk about, and I'm sure there'll be lots of people talking about this, but my advice, stay positive. Don't get yourself stressed out ahead of time. Once this event starts, we'll see how things go, and you know what? I really think that it's going to be a nice, chill, relaxing event as much as that's possible, so don't make it hard on yourself. Anyway, guys, catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.